there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Back good.
Yeah.
Got my boy Shawn Lee in
What's
here.
going on, bro?
Yes, sir, man. Tell people who you is, man.
I am Shawn Lee. Well, a lot of people know me by Shawn Lee now, but my real name is Maiden Lee. It's at M-A-L-O-N, Maiden Lee from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Living in Dallas now. I've been here 8 years now. Kind of moved here after the journey of my athletic career, not working out, try to figure things out. Things wasn't working out in Louisiana, so I made my move to Dallas. Been doing comedy, maybe will make 2 years now. Been probably the biggest thing that's changed my life as of recent. I'm gonna learn more about me throughout the episode too. So
Definitely go check my man out. Yo. For sure, he gonna have you laugh. For sure, I gotta come. So hold on. When is the next time you perform?
I actually have a show tomorrow night at the Dallas Comedy Club.
Let's go.
At 7 o'clock. It's the Black Sugar Comedy Show.
Okay.
It's gonna be a really dope show. It's of course all black cast, but it's gonna be a show for anyone to pull up to. So definitely be a good time.
Before we start, I actually want to dive into the comedy a little bit before we get into the 3 questions. Because, like, bro, sometimes when I'm mad and, like, I don't want to listen to music or I'm sad, I just turn on comedy. Like, you can listen to it on your phone. Like, it's on Apple Music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's there.
So I got a bunch of, like, comedians. Sometimes I put it on shuffle. Sometimes I try to go find, like, a new one. Then sometimes I just listen to, like, an old, like, Ali Sadiq, something like that, George Carlin.
You
know what I'm saying? Roy Woods, definitely like one of my favorites. Roy Woods Jr.
It's so many legendary cats out here, man.
Okay.
So many different styles, so many different perspectives, so many different sense of humor.
Okay.
But you just named some definitely greats that I listen to all the time. So
okay, I go into the park to hoop, but we hooping as in like comedy. Give me your 4 that you taking with you, and you the 5th.
Ooh, that's a great question.
You know what I mean?
For sure, I'm going Chappelle, Jim Gaffigan, Deion Cole,
Fire.
Ali Sadiq.
Fire.
That's me. What?
You said Chappelle, Jim Gaffigan, Ali Sadiq, Deion Cole. And then you? Hold on, Jim Gaffigan?
Yeah.
I seen that name before.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Just his delivery, his humor. He knows how to like put himself like in the story, but also comment on his own story as if he's not telling the story. Yeah, and most of his stuff is clean comic, so it's easy on the ear. He talks about a lot of family stuff. He talks about a lot of personal stuff. So yeah, Jim Gaffigan is the guy.
You said clean comedy? That means he don't cuss?
He does, but listening to him, he's not just directly talking about, man.
He not like what's his buddy name, bro? He is the worst, but he funny as hell. Corey Holcomb.
Oh, Corey.
That is not clean comedy.
But I love him too, man. I love all forms of comedy, but Jim Gaffigan is definitely up there in my top 5.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check him out. I love a new comedian, man. Why comedy? Like, why?
Man, comedy for me came when I was in a darker place because I didn't have much direction because, after you play ball, and I know you continue your career, but for me, it was kind of one of those window was slowly closing, and then you realize it's over. And for years, I didn't know what that next pivot was, and I didn't feel accomplished. And then I got to a point where I knew I had like a story to tell, but I didn't know kind of where or how. So my initial route was to speak to schools, speak to student athletes, speak to coaches, things like that. But I didn't know where's the entry point. Like, how do I get into speaking? How do I go into schools? Do I just pull up and start speaking? Like, how does that work?
Right.
But I realized, like, hey, like, you need to do something. You need to get active, but I didn't know what it would be. And then I realized I was always sitting in comedy clubs. I was always at open mics. I always went to shows, and I would sit there. And then for a while, I told myself, I'm gonna get up there, do some comedy for the first time. And it originally was checking out my bucket list, to be honest with you. It was just one of those things. Like, I sat almost a year plus didn't do it. I was like, you know what? I'm doing it. I had a bet with one of my homies. It's like, I'm getting up there, I'm doing it. And then after I did it, COVID kind of hit.
Okay.
And then I had a few people telling me like, hey bro, like, you're funny, and you have a story to tell. So I was like, all right, let me overcome that fear of speaking to people. Because I had in my mind, like, I had in my mind, you know, just getting into, you know, speaking, but it didn't hit me like, bro, you still have social anxiety issues. You still have issues with like speaking to people. So comedy is one of those things I saw. You can go up and sign up any night of the week.
You
And
really
they'll
can.
put you on stage for 3 minutes. You can talk. So I kind of just used that to transfer it over, and then the comedy started. So 2 years later.
That's fire, bro. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. All right, man. The 3 questions are: first question, contentment. So a lot of things that have transpired in my life where I've like went wrong, where I've stumbled, is like not being content, wanting more, or just like too many options, too many choices. You know what I'm saying? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, man. Content is very difficult when we are in the world of social media now, I notice. Because we have like our own idea of what we would consider being content and happy. And then we get on our phones and we see a whole nother world. And we start to take it that, like, we start to question, am I happy with my life? Because I'm seeing them popping bottles on this yacht in Miami this weekend, and I'm barely can afford to get to work tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
But, you know, the contention for me kind of comes into where I'm more attached to, like, what's in front of me.
Okay.
Not being lost on, you know,
That's fine.
where everybody else is doing the things that are going on, like those things are cool, but what do I have control over? I think a lot of times we get lost on the uncontrollable side of life, but for me, I find more peace and it's less stressful when I'm like, all right, like right now, we're on the podcast with you, like none of the other things that, you know, can be going on really matter. So making sure I'm attaching and locking in and executing on the moments that's in front of me.
We're gonna speak on something else that you said. The second question is relationships. So one thing that I'm learning is that I didn't do as a kid and even as an adult, and I'm going into an older adult, 30, is like creating boundaries, like how important they are and how much easier they make your life because you're not wasting time. You like the people are in the right places. Nobody's wasting your time. You understand like that? So can you speak to relationships?
Relationships, man. Like you just said, it's very important to set those boundaries because a lot of times people are going to treat you and react to you the way they want to. A lot of times it's out of either their convenience or what they're used to. I've dealt with that a lot. Like I can be a very passive guy. Like I don't.
Okay.
It's not that I don't like confrontation. It's just one of those things. I'll let certain things slide.
Okay.
But I've learned over the last couple of years building boundaries for is like how I want my time respected, how I want to be like approached on certain matters. I think having kind of like that personal, like, all right, let me put myself first in the situation, but not out of like just completely selfish reasons, but I know just mentally it's better before I know that I'm doing for everybody else. Okay. I put myself in the background.
Yeah.
So having those relationships, and then you kind of, I've learned that you'll weed out the relationships you don't need when you set those boundaries. You either have people that's going to respect and grow into the boundaries that you set, or you have people they'll show you your boundaries. Yeah, they'll continue to show you that they don't really respect your boundaries, and then you'll figure a way to weed it out. But I've been very big on like setting correct boundaries in relationships, and that's with dating and like not dating.
Yeah. Last one is faith. Faith of not knowing what's gonna happen and being okay with it drives me crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like not being able to like control, like you talked about playing sports and stuff. Like I had a certain comfort in knowing like at some point in the year, like I know I'm gonna get a job. You know what I'm saying? And then like a close friend of mine was like, well, if you keep running to do that, whatever your life is post career, you're running from it. Like you're actually running. So I'm going somewhere, but I'm actually running from something. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's like you said, like yeah, I got faith and understanding like that something is gonna happen after basketball. Something has to happen. I have to do something.
Yeah.
I have to work. But like, I don't know what. I don't know how. You know what I'm saying? Like it's stressful.
Man, that's crazy. I was just recording the other day on just I had a cool story that happened to me at a show, like a full circle moment. I don't know if I have time to share it real quick. So, and it kind of goes to what you're saying, just what I was saying earlier about like just controlling the things that are in front of you that you can create an outcome from. So, going back to 2015, I was in Shreveport, Louisiana, stressed out, depressed. I'm kind of comparing. I'm in that life of comparing, seeing my boys that are in the NFL, like they living the life that we all talked about. Yeah. I'm not. I'm working at a used car lot. Life is just tough. I'm not sure what that next step is. I don't know what that, like you just said, I don't know what that next pivot is. I put from Pee Wee football all the way up to college years, I've devoted myself to this thing. And I understand, like, I'm going to have some type of return on my investment, no matter if it's playing in the NFL, Canada, arena, if I'm coaching, like, in some way, the labor I put in is going to provide for me.
Okay.
Incorrect.
I was going to say incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
And you slowly but surely accept the harsh reality, like, all right, like, these things that I thought would happen are happening. So I went on that rabbit hole, like, all right, I need to apply for all these jobs. Everything I was throwing out there was not sticking. Like, so I ended up just moving to Dallas. Like my lease was up in Shreveport that June. I had to be out of that apartment. I didn't have anywhere else lined up. And it was like, all right, well, let me try to find something. So I found a family on Craigslist living in Arlington, Texas, through like random connection with people that I kind of met. Like one time when I was out here visiting, they had a friend that had like a room. So I'm kind of living with this family. I moved here with $585 to my name. I just, in $525 was going to the rent of the spot that I was in. So I just was in that situation of like, all right, like something has to happen. So I ended up having 2 job interviews out here. And what was crazy, I came out here for a job interview with a company, and right after the interview, I got a call back like, hey, like, we thought the VP was gonna be here tomorrow to meet with you, but he's actually in the country. Can you come back? Like, we thought the schedule would be for next week, but can you come back on Wednesday to see him? I don't have money for a hotel. So I found a spot to crash in my car at the spot. Bought some more clothes, crashed in my car, did the interview, it went well. So now fast forward, this was 3 months ago. I had family in town that got to see me perform for the first time. In the venue that I was at, the host took me up to the green room. And as I'm sitting in the green room, I'm overlooking the lake of the same spot I slept in my car in. So I basically like had like a full circle moment. I had like family that seen me perform for the first time, and the fact that like I slept in my car at this same spot, trying to just like figure stuff out, figure life out. Like, can I get this job? What's going to be next? And here I am, years later, about to perform, getting paid to do comedy, sitting down for 10 minutes.
That's right.
Then at that time, I didn't have any clear direction. But like I said, like the only thing that brought me to that moment was controlling what was in front of me. Me going open mics, me plugging in with shows, me staying consistent, me consistently writing, brought me to have that moment. So that's what controllables did for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Give us one healthy coping mechanism.
One healthy coping mechanism. Allow yourself time to heal. Because a lot of times we get lost on what we don't have and how things have happened to us. And in the world, it's preached to us to be tough, to have that resiliency, to show up. And I get that, but a lot of times we sweep things away that we really need to attend to. So, and to give, I guess, tangible ways, like whatever your thing is, like if you like to go on a walk, you like to be at a lake, whatever that thing that brings you joy and peace, even if it's for an hour, find time to do that. Because over time you're gonna kind of build that muscle. If the world is getting super chaotic, I can have my slow down and my pace to go and heal and whatever it is I need to think through and not let the outside world of what people's perspectives are, what people want you to do. I know you probably have a million people telling you, hey, you doing this? I'm telling you, bro, you play ball. You probably go coach at Kansas right now. Man, why? Man, just hit Mark Cuban. Bro, I see you hoop. I know. Man, just hit Mark Cuban up. He can get you a contract and you good. And people don't understand it. Don't. And you know I'm speaking real. You know it doesn't work like that. This ain't the rap game. Yeah. You just can't show up to the American Airlines and say, hey, Mark, man, look. Check out my highlight tape. I'm telling you, man. And people don't understand like what that life is like. So I definitely.
That was the perfect way to put it, bro. It's like that every day, bro. Every day, I just let them finish, bro. I just let them go ahead and get all of them off.
It's not that easy. It's not. You think I want to be in this situation, like mentally trying to figure out what my next pivot is? No, it's not. But yeah, I would say just give yourself time to heal, man.
That's
and live, be you and live your life. Whatever your thing is, live your life. Be unapologetic about it. Live your life.
Shawn V. Now hold up, man. Like these folks gotta know where to find you, man. Cause I know the place where you be at. Cause I be at the open mics too, trying to get my bars off.
I'm all over. You can follow me on social media. At sometimes I'm Shawn.
There we go.
With a SHAWN.
There we go.
We got shows. If you out of state watching this, look your boy. Pulling up, trying to travel more this next year.
That's what's up.
To kind of get my name out there. But yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that stuff.
Let's go. Let's talk about it. How's your mental, Shawn Lee? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
What's up? That's fine, bro. The last one, bro.
I
Go ahead. Get him, bro. People will go for 10 minutes, bro.
Giving you a hard-on lesson. It's like it don't work that way.
Man, bro, I've applied for about 100 jobs. I went up to my college. I played at SMU right here. Like slow motion.
Yeah.
It's slow motion,